I think they're global. They're all the same. If you talk about a breach, I mean, the description of the word breach means that it was okay a minute ago and now it's not working, or now there's an issue. And people do try and keep up with things. The problem is that breaking security is actually an industry. Right? People can earn money from data leakage, from information they shouldn't get. They can earn money by downloading things like spyware and all of the stuff, malware we call it now, as a bigger box. And the breaches are all the same. I mean, people try and get into your machines and your systems. The most interesting new one is that even sites that are known to be good, like, I don't know, BBC.com, trusted site. It's the BBC. Even they get infected, that site gets infected with malware. You innocently go to the BBC website and your PC becomes infected. So they load things like Trojans and worms on that site. The difficult part is you can't blacklist every site. It's basically turning off the internet. What you've got to do is guard against the behavior of that website. So when that site's compromised, probably the site owner doesn't realize it. What you've got to have is systems in place for everybody that goes to the internet that actually look at the behavior and what that site's trying to do. And if it does have a bad behavior, just block that behavior, not block the site. One of the things that's becoming more talked about is a thing called DLP, which is data leak prevention. And this is where you have to inspect, selectively and granularly inspect attachments and documents that leave the network and get posted to the internet, or that come in from the internet into the network. So things like Gmail attachments, you have to, basically you're reading them. There's a machine reading them and checking them for keywords, checking them for, bad content and this kind of thing. And it also has to do it not only just in English, but it also has to do it in Chinese, Japanese, Korean, various other languages. Manufacturing is famous for transferring huge amounts of documentation, and they do it between countries. They used to have leased lines doing it. They're trying to elegance what they're doing, making the leased lines a little smaller and maybe using the internet to do document transfer. So they have to be careful what documents go across the internet. The other thing is with the advent of people using things like social networking. So Facebook lives on the internet, Gmail lives on the internet. You can post things up there, and people actually in certain companies are allowed to use those because they're a true networking and it's a me to you experience that's useful at work. But the problem is if you don't control or look at what they're putting on that site, you don't have control over it because you can't see what they're doing. So the big thing is to see what they're doing, figure out why, and then either allow it or not allow it. Because the bad guys are very clever. They really are. And Blue Coat, for instance, we have our antivirus group are in Russia, in Latvia. And as we all know, the Eastern Bloc is famous for doing viruses. And we also have a very big relationship with Kaspersky Labs, and they are also based in Russia. So and that's just AV. But, it's not just Russia. It's everywhere. It's everywhere people can make money doing what they consider to be good things, what we consider to be bad things. The breaches or the compromises, a lot of it, and I would say actually 99% of it, is because the IT groups don't have the correct visibility of the actual traffic on the network. They might look at the packets going in and out, to see where the source was and see where the destination is, but what they don't know is what's in the payload. They don't understand the content. They don't understand who sent it, the name of the person that sent it. They have no idea where it came from. And interestingly enough, it's the packet network is great. It's what created the internet. But when you look at true visibility, you have to be on layers 5 through 7. And we concentrate on the application layer. So one of the things you'll hear us talk about is a thing called ADN, which is Application Delivery Networks. And guess what? It's all about delivering the applications. The remote user we just talked about, he doesn't care where that application lives. He really doesn't. It could live next door, it could live in Chicago, it could live in Beijing. It doesn't matter. He just needs to know he can get to it, and he can get to it efficiently and safely. It's all about controlling and visibility of the user. Well, like I say, it's all about visibility. I mean, if I was an IT guy, I would be closely inspecting all of my traffic, all of it. My teams would clearly know what the users are doing on a 24/7 basis. And there are a few tools out there that help. One of the ones we sell is called a Packet Shaper. It has 650 applications it can look at, and we can report on that. We can actually fix them. We can say, well, that's bad, and block it. We can do a lot of stuff with it. It's really understanding what's going on. And because because people use the network is no longer, it's a business enabler. So the network has to run a network for a network's sake. It's a tool. It has to be safe, and you have to know what's going on. It's as simple as that. So the more people look at what's going on, the better off they'll be.